Good morning, everyone. My name is Cameron Cummings, and I'm the Community Impact and Marketing Associate here at United Way of Contra Valley. We are here with Kara Barker from MHMR Contra Valley to talk a little bit about Children's Mental Health Acceptance Week that's coming up at the 1st of May. Kara, thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at MHMR.
Yeah, thank you. So I actually just recently took on the position as the Director of Children's Mental Health, probably in the last couple months. But prior to that, I've actually been with MHMR for 4 years and started as a skills trainer, became a case manager, and then became a wraparound facilitator with our Yes Waiver program, and then became the supervisor there, and now this position. So I'm pretty well rounded with what we do and the services that we offer. So that's a little bit about me.
Well, we appreciate you being here, and as you said, you know the ins and outs of MHMR pretty well. So the first question we have for you today is, can you just speak a little bit about the mental health and children that you're seeing in the Contra Valley and kind of the importance of it?
Yes. So, mental health is a big part of society in general, and I think that we really want to normalize it, because I think everybody struggles with mental health in some point in their life, whether it's to the degree that you need to receive services or whatnot. But with coming off of the tail end of COVID, we know that it's still going on. We definitely are still seeing the repercussions of that in children. One of the main trends that we're actually seeing with our skills trainers is we have kids coming in with a lot of anxiety that has to do with them not wanting to go to school. And we're not quite sure to the degree of the culprit of that, whether that was just being virtual and being isolated for so long, and now being thrusted into school and being around people a lot, or what. But we definitely are seeing some repercussions of that still trending upwards. So we want to definitely be aware of that as we encounter kids and interact with families, that they know that there's services out there that we can help.
Fantastic. Well, obviously, like you said, there is some type of stigma around mental health, and we can see that. I can see that it's been decreasing some in the last 2 years, and I don't know if y'all have seen that as well. And we look at the physical health with kids, but how important the mental health is with children, and possibly how overlooked that is at times. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I think that it's hard, because I think that so much of mental health, it's hard to really know what's developmental, and like it overlaps in so many areas of our life and developmentally. And kids, we know, are constantly physically growing, mentally growing. And so even personally in my life, I have my daughter. She just recently was diagnosed with ADHD. But I had a hard time as a mom even seeing like if it truly was ADHD, because she was like a young kindergartner. So I was like, I know, is this just emotional developmental? So I think like as parents and stuff, it's sometimes hard to tease out what's truly a mental health like disorder and what's developmental. And it impacts kids, and it impacts how they do successful in school. It impacts them socially. It impacts all parts of their life. And so we really want to make sure that they have the tools to be successful.
So on top of that, you said you're seeing increases over the last couple years, and obviously that could be because of COVID. They're going through these changes of having to be on technology and things like that. Now that maybe we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, are you seeing an increase because of COVID, or because people are realizing, hey, these resources are here, or the stigma might be down, we're going to bring our child in now?
Mhm. I think it's a little bit of everything. I think that we're trying really hard to get the word out there and to normalize that it's okay to come and get services and get help for your children. That it's not a lifetime diagnosis, that there's treatment and that you can get the coping skills and live a full life, that it's not a crippling, a debilitating thing to get a diagnosis. So I think, we're getting the word out there better. I do think that we are still seeing the repercussions of, COVID and just like what that's done to us as a society. And, that's been a pretty big trauma and adjusting to that. And I think that, people want to say, oh, it's over, but we need to realize that there's going to be fallout from that still. And so to still be aware of that. And then I just think just in general, it just seems like mental health is at an increase. I think there's just a lot more different stressors going on. And I think there's so much that plays a part of that. And so I think everyone is in need of it.
For sure. Not only children, but everybody.
Yes.
So, you talk about some of these increases and people coming in, and obviously MHMR is a great resource in the Concho Valley, and there are many great resources in the Concho Valley for mental health. Give us a little overview of what MHMR does for children within the Concho Valley and what resources are available.
Yeah. So, I really know our FYGC is Family and Youth Guidance Center. So it really is for the family. Even though you bring your kid in, we really want to not only be providing coping skills for children, but we want to also be equipping parents to help them at home, because that's where they're primarily going to be getting their upbringing and where they're going to need the encouragement and stuff like that. And so if you bring your kid into to MHMR, we provide anything from medication management. We also have what we call skills training. So skills training we have 4 of them, and basically if your kid gets assigned to them, they are curriculum based. So they have specific curriculum that teaches them coping skills based on whatever they're struggling with. So if they're struggling with anxiety, we're going to give them specific coping skills to help them work through that. If they're, struggling with, anger management and how to appropriately express their emotions or needing to express their needs or whatnot, but we're going to have a curriculum for that that's going to take them through that so that they can come out successful and use those tools at home, at school, wherever they are into their adulthood. We also have a therapist here at the center, Scott, that sees therapy. We have what we call a certified family partner. So that person can meet with families if they have any sort of need whatsoever. She has a plethora of services that we can hand people off to. And then we also have what we call our Yes Waiver program. So that's our most intensive program. And that is a preventative program for families that are really struggling with their kiddos, that they might be getting to a point where they're considering a residential treatment, or the client has been in a psychiatric hospital for suicidation or homicidalization or whatever, and they really just don't know how to help. And so Yes Waiver was a preventative measure to keep the kid at home, to avail the family to community resources to be able to keep them home and give them those coping skills so that they don't have to get out of home treatment. So those are the different kinds of services we provide here.
Well, they're great resources, and based on what you said, a lot of them are family based and cover the whole family, and how important it is for not only the child to be getting help with things, but making sure that the parents have resources, whether they need it for themselves or resources to be able to help their child. So, but we appreciate you coming today and discussing mental health in children and Children's Mental Health Acceptance Week. We'll have all those resources that Kara talked about in the link below, and